Hello everybody. Today I will be explaining how to create a perspective drawing from a top plane view and an elevation view. I want to start off by saying that I'm not a geometry teacher. I had geometry classes during architecture school and I've been using geometry and especially perspective since then, but in an intuitive way and not a very technical and precise way. So what I am trying to accomplish here is to relearn some of those technical aspects and really input precision into my designs or drawings. The objective of this series will be to document my relearning process of these technical aspects of perspective and create a repository of knowledge that could be easily accessed on the future for me and for anyone else that is trying to learn geometry and especially perspective. I want to make clear that I probably will use some terms wrongly, so feel free to correct me on the comments or give me feedback about something that you find that I'm not explaining right or I'm explaining totally wrong, so I can correct myself and leave no doubts regarding what is going on. First of all, I will start by explaining what is on the screen. Here highlighted you can see the ground line. The ground line is where the observer stands, and this one above is the horizon line. The horizon line has the height of the sight line of the observer, so you can imagine that you are standing on the ground. This line would be at the level of your eyes. Here above all we have the picture plane. The picture plane is where the image will be projected and where the perspective will the perspective will gain form. So above the picture plane we have the top view, and here on the right we have the side view or the elevation. To start drawing, we need first of all to place our observer. The observer will be around here below the picture plane, so it can look directly to the object. One thing that we might want to have in consideration is that the observer, the closer it is to the picture plane, the deeper the perspective will look, and so we might want to take it a little bit away from the picture plane so we can have a more realistic perspective, at least in my opinion, than we would have if we place the observer near the very close to the picture plane. So since this object has a rotation relatively to the picture plane, we will have two vanishing points, and for discovering those vanishing points we could either know or measure the rotation angles with the picture plane, or we could just draw some parallel lines to the main planes of the object. In this case the object is composed only by squares. The towers, the central building and the walls are just squares on top of each other, so we know that this angle is 90 degrees. So I will take these parallel lines that I draw here and I will just pick the point, the vertex, and move it somewhere where I can place my observer. This vertex where I grab the two lines will be the observer, the standing point where the observer will be. I will place it right around here, since we can have a clear view for the three towers on this side of the object, and we can actually see a bit of the central building. I will try and move it a little bit further to the left so we can ensure that we have a clear sight view to the clear sight line to the central building. To discover where the vanishing points are, we will start by extending those lines to the picture plane and then bring them down to the horizon line. And why do we do this? I'm expecting that people watching this have some notions of geometry, but I will just say it just in case. When we are seeing things in perspective, all the lines that are parallel go to vanishing points, and in this case, since the object has a rotation, we will have two distinct vanishing points, one for this plane here and the other for this plane here. Those planes are perpendicular, so this is a 90-degree angle, just like those planes. So that's why we have two vanishing points. So from here, one thing that we have to take in consideration is that we will be marking the real measurements directly on the picture plane. But since we do not have any point of the object on the picture plane, we'll have to extend one of these planes that are contained within the object, or that contains some faces of the object, so that we can put it in perspective and then intersect the lines of the object with that plane, so we can have the measures on perspective. So we can start by creating an extension of this line here. So imagine that an imaginary plane goes through all these lines, these faces here, and goes until the picture plane. So we have it here. Now we bring this down up until the ground line, and now we can take the real measures on this line because it is right on the picture plane. So I will just grab the line from my elevation. If I didn't have an elevation and I just knew the measures on my head, I could just put the measures directly on this plane, and then I would send it to the vanishing point. And so this plane here would be this plane if it would go to infinity in perspective. Now if we want to project this face on this plane, we just have to go to the observer, the standing point, draw two lines from the observer to the vertex, and where those lines intersect the picture plane, we'll just bring them down, and we will get this face projected on the plane that we have drawn first. So the intersection goes around here, so we know that this face will stand right here. I will bold this so we can see it better. So here it is, this face in perspective. For the other face, it's really easy now that we have these reference lines. We can just grab this vertex here and send it to the other vanishing point. Since we know that it is 90 degrees, it's perpendicular, so we just send it in that direction. And then to see where the tower ends on this side, we just have to do exactly the same thing for this face. We take the line from the observer to the vertex, and then on the intersection with the picture plane, we bring it down. And then we have the intersection points that give us the face in perspective. And so with this, we just created this first tower in perspective. In this video, I will just do this block. It's just a demonstrative introduction, In the next videos we will over first draw all the volumes of the object, and then we will start detailing, creating the details on the walls and the windows on the central building, and maybe in the end we do the shadowing of the building. But for now I just wanted to demonstrate the process. It's basically the same for the rest of the object, we'll just have to complete it. But for now I will just leave us with the first tower in perspective, and in the next video we will continue. Thank you for watching.